Anxiety can appear for a myriad of reasons. It can be due to stress, taking in stimulants such as coffee, and it can also stem from learned behaviors such as having anxious parents, working for a controlling boss, or from having experienced PTSD or other factors. People will often mention to me how bad their symptoms are. They're usually at the point where they can't function anymore. They've tried other things and are desperate to make the situation stop. Some people have been experiencing anxiety for practically their whole lives. I hear the same thing all the time because anxiety is the #1 reason why people reach out to me. And it's also the same reason why I got into hypnotherapy myself. My anxiety would go from severe anxiety to where I couldn't function. It would then loop into depression and then back to anxiety. And I felt like I was having a total nervous breakdown. And it wasn't just a mental thing. I could feel it in my body. I had all of these pains in my shoulders and neck, and I had the most horrible migraines when I had never had a migraine in my life. I even experienced hair loss. I was really at a breaking point. I couldn't take it anymore. I went to 2 different doctors and a psychiatrist. I took pills, but the pills never got to the root of what was wrong with me. I remember telling my then boyfriend about the feelings of impending doom that I would get, that at any moment something really bad was going to happen. His response? Just stop thinking about it. Maybe it'll go away. I remember telling him, don't you think that if I could stop this on my own, I would? It can be tough when the people around you don't understand what you're going through. I'm always very upfront and honest with my clients. When I say that I didn't believe in hypnotherapy, I didn't. But I was so desperate that I had to try it. And every time I went in to see my hypnotherapist, I got better and better, to the point to where I thought, wow, if this can help me with all of my issues, then it can help others. And that is what set my course as a hypnotherapist. Before learning about hypnotherapy, I always felt as though I had been floating in life. You know how there's some people who at a young age know what they're supposed to do? I was never one of them. I was in my early 30s with a degree from UCLA, but I didn't know in what direction to go. But once I knew this was my calling, something kicked in. There were no ifs, ands, or buts. For the first time in my life, I experienced clarity. I knew that everything had brought me to this point. And I felt that all of the bad things that I had experienced in my childhood as a young adult, and even my own stupid mistakes, were no longer in vain. That something good was going to come out of the whole thing. Since then, I've never looked back. In a weird way, it turned out to be a gift because it gave me empathy. People come in and they tell me things that they've experienced and are currently experiencing, and I get it. I once had a client come in and tell me, you know, I feel like I could tell you anything and you wouldn't judge me. And she's right. It's not my place, and I have no interest in doing so. My goal is to purely focus on finding solutions and retrain my clients' minds to do what they want their minds to do. Now that you've heard my story and you've heard my approach, you'll understand why it is that I stand behind hypnotherapy, and I also do mind coaching. I truly believe that by changing the way you think, you're able to change your life for the better. It all starts up here. Find out how you too can get rid of whatever is blocking you. Go to sashacarrion.com.